Alright, grade 5. So this week we're moving on to rainfall patterns and how to read information off bar graphs. Okay, so last week we looked at rainfall and then you just had to read off a key on the map to see how many millimeters of rain there was. But now we're looking at a rainfall pattern. So when we talk about a rainfall pattern, it is over a longer period of time, alright, and you're going to have to be able to get information off of a graph in order to answer questions. And this is going to help you to answer activity 7 inside your textbook on page number 75. Okay. So firstly, they give us a graph, okay, and the graph is broken down into a few sections. Okay, you'll see that we have degrees Celsius here on the left, right? We have millimeters of rain on the right, and then we have bars as well as a line. Okay, so now how do we read this information? We have to look at the bar graph, and then we have to interpret how many millimeters of rain there was per which month of the year. So here at the bottom, we have from month 1 all the way to month 12, so that's from January all the way through until December. Now we should already know that this is not representing Gauteng because we get most of our rainfall in the summer months rather than in the winter months. But how we interpret this is if we look at the bars will always represent rainfall, okay, and the rainfall is found on the right hand side. So I want you to take your ruler and then I want you to match it across to the amount of millimeters of rain that is received. So if you asked how many millimeters of rain is found in June, you'd go all the way from January all the way through to June. You trace all the way to the top, and you say there that we received 150 millimeters of rainfall in the month of June. Okay. If you ask for the temperature, then you'd look with a degree Celsius and use the line graph. Now there's different plots on the graph. So again, for the month of June, we'd look for the plot, take our ruler, and then we'd see there that that's about 14 degrees Celsius. So for the month of June. So this is the average amount that was received for the month of June with regards to rainfall and for temperature. Okay, so the biggest thing to not confuse yourself is to always make sure that you're using the bars to find out how much rainfall there was, and you're using the line to interpret what the temperature was, to see what the average temperature was for that month. And then you'd be able to see what the rainfall pattern looked like. So we can say, yeah, in the summer months it was more dry, and then there was a lot of rain in the winter months. Okay. And then as we know in South Africa, it's warmer in summer and then it cools down and gets colder in winter, and then it picks up near the end of the year again. So this is a nice graph that represents the rainfall pattern as well as the temperature pattern that we see, and it can also tell us what type of climate that we have. Right, but we'll be moving on to climate in the next unit. What I want you to be doing for today is with regards to activity 7, look at the questions and then answer them according to the graphs at the bottom for Cape Town, Polokwane, and Knysna. You'll see for each of the provinces, they have a different rainfall pattern as well as the temperature. The temperature tends to be the same across all of our provinces because we're in the southern hemisphere. So we do receive warmer weather in the beginning of the year, and then it cools down for winter and picks up again near the end of the year. Where in the northern hemisphere, it would be the other way around. It would be colder in the northern hemisphere in the beginning of the year, and then it would heat up and then cool down again. All right, so grade 5s, please answer those questions on page number 75. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. But the most important thing is you're always reading the bar graph to the rainfall on the right and the temperature with the line graph on the left. Okay.